Before we break from further networking, I'm just going to let Emirs introduce himself and talk to you about this upcoming project that we have.
Okay. Hi everyone. I wasn't planning to speak, and I would have dressed more appropriately, but it's Friday, dress down day. So we have a very interesting movement coming up. So when I looked at this, Ethiopians in Tech, I thought, should I register? I'm not really in tech. I mean, I've worked with tech. I've worked with radars. I've worked with what they're called digital railway, Belize's. So I work a lot with tech, but more as a project manager. But my interest is really on organizing Ethiopians, creating networks. So this is an amazing thing that you guys are doing, and I really hope it continues to grow. So what we've done is I went to an event at the Ethiopian embassy. There's a lot of change happening in Ethiopia, and that's exciting for us, especially us, the young people, because it gives us an opportunity to really be able to go into a market which is a bit more open than it used to be. And we went to the event, and when we went, it was good. It was more of a truth and reconciliation thing. It was for the older generation to say the pains that they've suffered and so on. But really, those of us in the next generation, as we've called it, we want to look at opportunity moving forward. How do we grow Ethiopia? So what I did is we created a little group, and we invited people to come. So I just invited a few people, they invited a few people. So we went from 5 to 30 people, and we met at the embassy, 30 young people. We said it's 18 to 40, which is it's an artificial boundary, but it's basically to say it's the next generation. We're not going to do any ID checks or carbon dating. A few people here were there, like Francois. Mahalet was here as well. And we talked about what do we want to achieve. So we created 5 separate groups. The first group is looking at tech, innovation, science, engineering. The second group is looking at business, finance, insurance, trade, investment. The third group is looking at health and education. The fourth group, I always forget, but it's the creatives, which Abi is in the tech, sorry, I forgot Abi as well. The creatives are those who are in sports, media, culture, tourism, and then you've got the fifth group, those of us, which I'm in, policy, politics, social development, us thinkers. Now, we think. But the beauty of the tech group is they implement. So these 5 groups have met. So, across, since we had that meeting the 23rd of March, up to now, 5 groups of youngish professionals, students, whatever, have met to discuss what is the problem, what is the gap in Ethiopia, what can we do, how do we want to do it, what's missing for us to be able to do it. And that's the early conversations. Now, we've called this the Ethiopian Next Generation UK. And it's exciting because we've gone from 5 to 30 to almost 100 people in our WhatsApp group now. But where we go next depends on where everyone wants to go. So, for example, Gabia gets talent or gets ideas, which I guess they want to implement in Ethiopia.
And they train talent to build products or something.
Exactly. So, but those products need to come from an idea. So we have a tech team coming up with ideas. How do we get the ideas, and how do we get what we're doing here to Ethiopia? So it's no good us just meeting, talking, saying how great our industries are, coming up with ideas, and it just falling on the ground and nothing happening. We want it to grow. So how do we grow it in Ethiopia? So we need to create that link between us and the UK, who have, the wealth of industry and knowledge and so on, and those in Ethiopia who also have talent. There's a lot of talented people in Ethiopia. So, but what they're missing is probably some applications or maybe thinking of something in a different way. So creating that gap to create growth. And if you look at, for example, India as an example, a lot of American, Indian people who lived in America helped support the growth in IT in India. So we're trying to create that. To cut this short, please do come to myself, Mahalet, Abi.
So you guys went to the embassy and what happened?
So the embassy was, it was a diaspora forum. There was about 1,200 people there.
Before that, you guys were like 30 or so?
No. So before, at that point, on the 16th of March, there was 5 people. So I went to an event. So I'm the chair of Ethiopian community in Britain. I'm involved in a lot of Ethiopian stuff, Ethiopian movement and stuff. So I then get to hear about these things, and I find myself in a meeting room where I'm the only person who's young, and I'm not young. So you can imagine how old the rest of the people in the room are. And then they told me, right, you're young, we need you to get some young people involved in this. I don't know what this is. But I went to the diaspora event. I had a few people who came to me who said, you know, we're interested, we want to get involved. One of them is a key person, actually. His name is Nate. Nate does a lot of business. He does a lot of export business, mainly with China and UK. But then he wants to grow in Ethiopia. So he actually came to me and said, people high up in Ethiopia want the young diaspora to get involved. And when he says high up, he means Prime Minister high up. And so he's telling me, look, we need to get the young people involved. So I said, okay, Nate, come along to this event, and I'll get you to speak at it, and we'll say a few things, and we'll get the youth energized. We go there, 1,200 people. I can promise you, like, probably less than 100 were young, probably 50, whatever. So it wasn't really the right forum. So I said, okay, that didn't work. So what am I going to do? So I had 5 people in a WhatsApp group. So I said, let's open this up. Let's get more people. So I added a few people I know. They added a few people they know. And I said, let's meet up in the embassy. They've given us a free room to just meet and discuss. And let's talk and let's see where we can move this. And that's where Ethiopian Next Generation UK is born. It's in its early start. It's not as developed as Ethiopians in tech. But
just to show you that there are other communities, so, you know, where if you want to join, and I mean, there's a lot of, like you said, it's still early stages, but there's a lot of things that will be coming up. Emirates, I've got pad and paper if you want to give him the details, or join up on LinkedIn, and, you know, want to be kept up to date, by all means do that. We're going to wrap up so we have time to...
Can I say one thing, as in what the end goal is? The simple end goal is we're going to have an event in August at the embassy because they give us free space, and we're going to basically do workshops. We're going to have panel discussions. We're going to hopefully have some people from the Ethiopian Diaspora Agency in Ethiopia to speak about how we can, you know, get into business or do stuff in Ethiopia. So it's going to be an information thing, really. But where it goes next is something we'll just continue to develop and to talk about. But it's really a networking thing. But I hope, having been here, it's something that Ethiopians in tech will be closely linked with and how
Okay, my name is Abel. I am a web developer, and I've been working in e-commerce for the past 7 years now.
How long will you see yourself in this profession?
As a web developer, maybe another 7-8 years, but after that maybe different role. Not a different role, but I still want to be in tech, but I feel like after 7-8 years web development won't be the same thing, so probably have to pivot, grow to something else.
So in the cyberspace, would you actually be a rising star in terms of building up your own enterprise?
Definitely, yes.
Definitely?
Yeah.
So how long would you give yourself, for instance, the opportunities you see in Ethiopia.
Yeah.
And for instance, the subcontinent, India,
Yeah.
has taken the share because the people, especially the educated people, were inspired to change not their community, the global community at large.
Yeah.
So would you see yourself some kind of service industry set up in terms of e-commerce in your backyard in Ethiopia and running such things?
Definitely. And one thing about India is Indian government actually made the decision to invest in technology at least 10, 15, 20 years ago, looking at the rise of population. So it's not an accident. It's not just inspiration from outside the world. There's been a conscious decision by the government to invest money in it, in tech specifically. That's why there's a lot of outsourcing companies over there.
Are you inviting your government to do such thing?
Of course, if they think it's the right thing to do, maybe maybe it's worked well for India, but maybe it's not the best thing to do for Ethiopia. But if I look at it from an outside, it's a very good decision. I think if we have that many young population coming out of university, we'll create lots of opportunities, and we'll create lots of amazing things. So definitely, it's a good thing to do. And to answer your other question about setting up something back out in Ethiopia, I'm going to Ethiopia in 2 weeks for 2.5 months to assess situations and see how it goes.
So you're on the way.
Yes, I am. But I like to consider myself to be the lucky one. I was lucky. I had a smooth journey. I did work hard, and I have seen it pay off. I think everything, I kind of got what I put in. I got out what I put in, basically.
So where did you start the journey in terms of your IT profession?
So I moved here 15 years ago. So I went to college. I went to school, went to college. I was interested in computers and IT, and then went to university and studied computer science, just because that's what all my friends were studying. And after that, after I finished university, just when I was about to finish, I just went and applied for a job just because my friend told me to apply for it. And I got a call and I got the job. It was for a website developer assistant or something like that. I knew about websites and stuff, so I went in, and 2 years down the line, left that place, went to another job, and that's 4 years ago now. And that's where I've had the biggest growth in the last 4 years. And I think that's because even outside of work, I used to do a lot of studying and working for other people in terms of freelance. At the same time, you get paid for it, and you also educate yourself and diversify your skills. So that helped me, like, kind of shine within my workplace and put me in accelerated my kind of growth in the industry itself. So it was okay for young people as well, It was okay.
My understanding, you can butt in on this one if you want. My understanding is that the technology industry actually requires people who are seeking development and knowledge, because every day it's changing. You need to update yourself with it. And how do you yourself in terms of the new dimension where the others were mentioning about artificial intelligence and so forth? How do you see yourself in that? Could you introduce your name for me, please?
Okay, my name is Musesi.
What do you do?
I'm an embedded software developer working on IoT.
How long have you been doing that?
5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you see yourself in this environment in the next 5 years, 10 years?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
So are you equipping yourself to the changing technology?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm doing that.
Are you currently studying?
Yeah, the tech industry is also a studying process. You have to study every day. You have to Google. You have to learn. You have to update yourself every day, every second. So yeah, I'm learning, but not attending a class.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Thank you for.
Okay, I'm working in IoT, Internet of Things, and I know, as you said, like you have to keep up with everyone, and then you have to update yourself every day, every second. Otherwise, you'll be left out. So that's the technique everybody has to use. Yeah, by the way, I was back home this Christmas, so I have got the chance to visit two companies. One is the one which contributed in the project Sophia. So I visited their office and then I was amazed with what they are doing, and I have even met one of the tech guys there, and then some of them I knew them. Then I was amazed with what they are doing, and then I saw a hope there. So that's what I felt about Ethiopia and then about what you say.
So do we have enough institutions in Ethiopia?
No, it's not enough. I have to say, like, there is nothing if you compare it with Europeans or Americans. Like, there is nothing. It's not yet started, but we have to work on that.
Yeah.
How do you actually entice the next generation to follow up?
Give them practical stuff, not theory. Get them to do things, you know. I think one of the boring stuff about going to school, going to university, going to education is you're stuffed with a lot of talking, and it can be sleeping. But if someone actually shows you what you can do with all this stuff that you're learning, no one has to tell you to go to school, to go to university, to go to college, or to study even in your own time. No one has to tell you that. If someone shows you the power of what you can achieve by learning these things, that's all you need. So, myself personally, if a younger person, I look young, I'm not too young. If a younger person comes to me and asks me for advice or anything, I would show them what I know, what they can do with what they're learning, and hopefully it will teach them something, or it will give them an idea of what they're getting into, and it will also give them an idea of if it's something they want to do in the future. Maybe it's not. Maybe they want to stop there and just change the lane. So that's how I would like to
Do some kind of SWOT analysis of, we're talking about policy makers, those ones sitting in running countries. Is technology a threat or an opportunity for them?
It's what we make it, I think. It's what people make it. It's not, you can't say it's a threat and shut it down. It can be a threat if it's mishandled. As much as it can be very amazing and useful, the fact that I can pick up my phone and call my friend across the world is empowering. But at the same time, I can call my friend to tell him to do something bad, which is bad. So, you know, it's what people use it for. It's what you let them use it for, and you can't. Fear shouldn't stop us from advancing ourselves, basically.
Have they explored enough into the commercial side of e-commerce and the other on finance? For instance, the banking system is just catching up. It's just like using so-called mobile finance and all that. So have they really actually explored to that sector to kind of weigh Facebook threat versus e-commerce?
In Ethiopia?
Yes, in fact in Africa.
From what I can see, and I've only been to Ethiopia in the past few years just for holiday. I haven't been there for an extended amount of time, but I do my research here and there. And personally, I work in e-commerce. Just talking about e-commerce, no. No is a simple answer. Here, you know, in the West, even some parts of Africa, now it's normal to pick up your phone, place an order online, it gets delivered to your door. We're still not there. We're trying to find workarounds, use, you know, mobile finance and all that kind of stuff. But we're a big country. We could potentially, I don't know about budgets and all this kind of stuff, but you could potentially put some money aside to invest in the e-commerce functionality. So whatever makes people's lives easier. You know, it's as much as it could be a big job, it's also big growth for the country and for the people, for convenience sake. You know, so short answer is No, just looking at e-commerce specifically.
So, what would you actually put as a signpost
Yeah.
for countries like Ethiopia to say to them that if you actually go this way, that would be the balancing point of bringing us into the era of the Western civilization as such in terms of e-commerce and the other bits where the Western citizens are enjoying. For instance, in terms of democracy, they're voting online these days. So how do you actually invite them to work on?
Yeah. To be honest, I don't know. I'm not too close into how governments work, but I like to be logical and practical. I like problem solving. So if you ask me, pick an area, pick specialists, start small, build, let it break, build it better, let it break, iterate, do it over and over again. Buzzword, agile, right? That's why everyone sees agile, but you can apply it to a big scale like this. If you have the right people in the right place with the right minds, people in this room, maybe, and a lot of people in Ethiopia themselves, a lot of people that are very smart, very clever, they just need to be in the right place in the right time, given the opportunity. So,
what would you say to the ones who are watching you now? What would you say to them to kind of, from networking to exposing themselves to a new era of technology?
Ethiopians?
Ethiopians, yes. Your brothers and sisters who are watching this.
That's a broad question.
I know.
Say it again. Say it
You
again.
can narrow it down.
Okay.
Well, the young person,
Yeah.
younger than you are,
Yeah.
whatever age
Yeah.
you say you are, but how would you expose them to kind of make a better community, a rising Ethiopian community who are geared into the technology or the profession you're in? Why would they need to kind of accelerate the growth from networking to exposing themselves into this technology? How would you encourage them? What would be your first word to say that do this and then follow it up, like the event today?
It's a tough question.
Tough question.
Tough question. Start small. Start solving problems that you know. Support each other. Support other people. Networking. Mentorship. If you can find a mentor, people that have made the mistakes before you down the lane that you're trying to go, find those people, build relationships, and work hard. Work smart at the same time.
That's what technology is actually bringing to us.
Yeah.
Living smart, work smart.
Exactly.
How about being inclusive? You know, one of the things the main speaker today was a lady who actually spent her good time in terms of acquiring this profession. She's given us key points, and I hope many more will actually take note from that. And how would you actually encourage people to kind of lift the beacon of hope in that kind of environment? How would you kind of be inclusive in terms of diversity and stuff? You know, if it is about knowledge, seeking knowledge,
Yeah.
how would you break it down to the younger generation who are not exposed to such ideas? How would you encourage them kind of to start from the bottom up?
Okay. Now I got you. What do you ask yourself? What is it that you want to do? I'm not going to pretend like I knew what I want to do. A lot of people like me here as well didn't. But if you have an idea of what you want to do, start surrounding yourself with people that are on a similar lane. So, again, events. If you live in a city, there's meetups, all these kind of things. Even if you're not an expert at it, go, attend, listen to what they have to say. That will give you a very good idea. And then, if you have a picture of what you want to do, that's half your job done. And then you can start experimenting of what you think that is. Put yourself in the shoes of what a developer is like. Put yourself in the shoes of what a cybersecurity specialist is like. If you have access to a computer, go start playing YouTube, Hopefully you've got access to internet. Then start building stuff, start doing things, experiment. And the sooner you do that, the better you will get. And don't ever stop experimenting as well, I'll say.
Fantastic. How about you?
Which question?
Thank you.
Which question?
The question would
A
be,
lot of.
what would you say to the younger generation who are actually on the bottom layer, who are keen in this technology, in this profession? What would you say to them?
I say to them to think big, be curious, and then whatever devices they have, it can be a mobile phone or a laptop, they have to do something with it. It's not something to watch a movie or to do some social media, but they have to experiment and do something with it. They have to solve a problem with it. And learning from YouTube, it can be from anything. They have to learn and think big and be curious about everything, how it's working, how someone did that. They have to be curious and ask that question, and they have to give a task for them how to do that, and then they have to solve that. Yeah, it's how to learn. That's how they should learn.
Thank you, Nahum. How was it?
It was amazing. Everyone came, everyone had fun. I think we've achieved our targets. Everyone networked. Everyone was really nice, extremely talented people around here. And we are extremely grateful that, amazing turnout. So hopefully we'll do this again. But on behalf of EIT, I'd like to thank Blaine for making this happen. She's amazing. Thank you. And thanks everyone for behaving, contributing, sharing ideas. So we've done it. Thanks.
Thank you for everyone that came to the first Ethiopian in Tech meetup. It was great turnout, really good feedback and input and engagement from everyone that turned up. Initially, when we were looking to do the first London chapter, a lot of people were thinking, are there Ethiopians in tech in London? But as you can see from today's meetup, there's an interest, there's a passion, there's a desire. We want to create a stronger network in the UK, but also connect with Ethiopians back in Addis and also in other parts of the world. So hopefully we'll see you at our next meetup.
And that would be when?
Hopefully in June. We will be looking to do them sort of every other month. But in between that, we're going to engage with our members and network to try and get them to engage with other networks here in the UK and in London. So just to sort of grow our network within ourselves, but outside of ourselves as well.
So what would be the platform to kind of get you?
So with the chapter, we recommend just visiting the website, joining the Ethiopians in Tech on Twitter. There's a LinkedIn group which is very active and engaging, and there's also a Facebook group as well. We will have a way for the London chapter to connect, but for now, just join the Ethiopian in Tech connection.
Thanks for it.
Thank you for coming, guys.
Today is a very exciting day. No, today is very, very exciting, seriously. I'm very happy to have met all these Ethiopians. I'm very happy to have met all these Ethiopians. It's a big group and from different backgrounds. And what gives me hope in this is the fact that we can all bring something different to Ethiopia. Hopefully, I hope it will go strength from strength, and I hope we will meet up more often, and I hope we will also go to Ethiopia as a group and hopefully meet the ministers, etc., and meet not only the information technology ministers, but also other sectors, and see how we can help them. And hopefully we'll be able to work with all of these people, the students as well at the university that are studying computer science or technology. So I think it's exciting, and I'm looking forward to all these new ventures.
Thank you very much for your time.